Hello, I'm Peter Thomson. I'm the UN Secretary General's Special Envoy for the Ocean, and I'm going to take this mask off in a minute, but this is what I promote, which is SDG 14, something we've all agreed to back in 2015, which is to conserve and sustainably use the resources of the ocean. For oceans, the progression, unfortunately, has been a continuing decline in the ocean's health, measurable through things like ocean acidification, deoxygenation, warming, causing death of coral, rising sea levels. And also our overfishing continues, habitat destruction continues, and of course pollution continues. So all those indicators show that we're still in decline when it comes to the ocean's health. And you can't have a healthy planet without a healthy ocean. So we've got a lot of work to do. But I think the good news is that people are now very aware of this. We have the UN Decade of Ocean Science now getting traction. It was launched at the beginning of this year. And we have the UN Ocean Conference coming up in Lisbon next year, middle of next year. And people are gearing up for the fact that they're going to be accountable when we get there. That's where we're going to assess our rate of implementation of this SDG 14. Well, the most important gap is about 80% of the unknown scientific properties of the ocean, which is why we've got the decade in place. Member states mandated it because we have such a huge gap in knowledge on the scientific properties of the ocean. So who knows what we're going to discover, but it's absolutely essential for us as dwellers on this planet which has 95% of its biosphere in the ocean. I've written to the COP president, Alok Sharma, after doing a survey around the world of scientists involved in ocean acidification. And I've written to him saying that he must understand as president of this COP that ocean acidification is an existential matter for our species on this planet, and that ocean acidification is occurring because of greenhouse gas emissions caused by mankind, and that people, the parties need to be aware of the seriousness of the situation. The ocean is acidifying at the fastest time in planetary history. Again, the good news is that this is now being addressed by GoOn. IOC, UNESCO is leading the charge on that, and I'm confident that we are making it clear now to the world that you can't have a climate conference without the ocean being in there, and ocean acidification, of course, is the best example of why. Look, I've been to a lot of COPs, and I do believe this one is different. The people that were trying to white out the process before, they're largely, gone off to their luxury villas wherever they are. And I think everybody is here to produce the solutions to this crisis, which everybody now recognizes is fast approaching. So it's all about solutions now, how we're going to do this together, separately. And so it's a very different mood at this COP. And the other big change for me is that we were always banging at the door with nature-based solutions and the ocean's place in climate discussion. That at this COP is no longer the case. Everybody wants a part of the nature-based solutions, and it's for us to show what can be done. Same with the ocean. I think we're finally in there at the top table where we should be. Yeah, it's pretty closely mandated already by the member states of the United Nations as to what we'll be doing there, but broadly it will be holding SDG 14 to account. How we're doing on things like marine protected areas. We were supposed to get 10% of the ocean covered by 2020. We didn't. We got to about 8%. When we go to Kunming, we're supposed to bring in the 30 by 30, 30% of the ocean by 2030. So, we've got to get real with ourselves and be addressing those marine protected areas and where they're going to be. Obviously the high seas comes in heavily there. Fisheries, we're still overfishing by 34% of the global fish stocks. We've got to address that seriously. What are we going to do to stop that? Has to be stopped. It's madness. Part of it is getting rid of the fisheries subsidies. That's another SDG 14 target. That's doable. Unfortunately, there's a blockage on that. It could be done in Geneva at the WTO ministerial meeting. But countries have got to look in their conscience and say, are they still prepared to be selfish and to hold back something that is logically achievable for the world, like banning fisheries subsidies, stopping industrial fleets from going out and chasing diminishing stocks of fish? It's further human madness. But there are countries that are trying to block that. So, that's another thing we've got to be honest about when we get to Lisbon. It's all the targets of SDG 14 will all be put under the blowtorch when we get there. And as I say, it's been already been mandated. It's going to be another game changer, just as the first UN Ocean Conference was in 2017.